Hi, I'm so grateful that you're watching this video on creating sacred time alone, because we really want you to get this love skill, because for our well-being, for your well-being, it's just vital that you have this time alone that is sacred. I love that Shannon said not just time alone, but sacred time alone. Now, I'm married to Shannon. She's a spiritual healer. She just knows how to create sacred time alone. She just is a embodiment of sacred time alone for most of the day. And it's a wonderful modeling to me. Now for me, I'm on the go. I'm not that great at creating sacred time alone throughout the day, so I have to find other ways to do it, and sometimes sneaky ways to do it. So one thing I do, and I do this probably 75% of the time, is that in the evening, just before I'm going to bed, I always spend anywhere from 10 minutes to a half an hour sitting there quietly in a chair by my bed and just listening to love. And I usually have a yellow pad with me, and things come up. You know, what happens with me is the first thing that's come up are things I should do tomorrow and all these tasks and stuff. And I let those flow through. Sometimes I'll write a couple of them down just to get them out of my thought. And then I really listen to, well, what's the big picture going on in life? And this is what I encourage you to do. Ask yourself, what's the big picture going on in my life right now? And sometimes it'll be, I need to forgive somebody, or sometimes I'll see there's something I'm frustrated about, or that I'm not living up to my own standards. But these things will come up to be addressed, and in the quietness, the deep things that your life needs and that my life needs will surface and present themselves to you. It's almost like having time with your highest self. It's like, okay, I'm going into the sacred closet now with my highest self. So when you do this, you're asking, and your highest self knows what your life is all about. You know who you want to be, and you know how you want to be. And if you're like me, a lot of times you fall short of that, and oftentimes I discover that I fall short because I'm not paying attention to who I want to be. In fact, just this week I was thinking, how do I hold on to this beautiful, encouraging spirit that I feel when I'm having this sacred time alone? And I thought, well, of all the things that I'm doing, this is the most important. So I thought of the phrase, spirit first. And so throughout the day this week, even in the middle of meetings or the middle of doing lots of things, I will have that thought, spirit first. And what that means to me, and it's easy for you to do too, is say, well, what does spirit really want? And in my meditation I realize, well, all I want to do really is be a more loving person, because I know the power of that. And I suspect that in some way that's what you're wanting in your sacred time alone, just to be a better person, to live at a higher level, to live in oneness with your highest self. So the trick, if you're busy like I am, is to remember this. I sometimes will, even though I work out of my home office in real estate and there's a lot going on, I sometimes will just get out of my chair that I'm sitting in right now and get down on the floor and sit in on a stool or a pad and just for 30 seconds or a minute just get back in touch with sacred time alone, with spirit first. The reason that this love skill, sacred time alone, is so important is because if the whole sweep of life flows forward without you taking sacred time alone, then you miss life. I miss life. That's the interesting thing, because without sacred time alone, there's plenty of events. There's all sorts of activity. There's incredible things going on, and you may accomplish all sorts of things. But you may be missing, and I think we both would be missing, the real purpose of our lives. So in sacred time alone, I'm constantly coming back to the theme, why am I alive? What is my highest purpose for being here on earth? And that's a delicious question. And how can I be of service? How can I rise to my highest self? And asking this over and over in these quiet evening sessions I have with myself has been really helpful to me. And there's no right or wrong way to have sacred time alone. At one of our workshops we asked people, how do you meditate? And I thought that everybody would say, well, I sit in a quiet corner of the room and I close my eyes and listen. And it turns out there were so many ways. Some people meditated by running, and some by taking walks through nature, some by just walking along in their neighborhood, others by just taking moments to contemplate, some by just reading books, some by sitting in a shower with candles and sitting in a, not sitting in a shower, sitting in a bath with candles. And it doesn't matter. All that matters, and we want you to experience sacred time alone. You're not too busy for this. Your soul is calling you. Please come be with me. Be with your highest self. That's what your soul is saying. That's what love is saying. Love is saying, I created you. I want you to remember that. I want you to be all that I have envisioned and imagined for you. And all of this I want to download into your heart. I want you to have right at the tip of your thinking. And I need you to be with me, love is saying, in sacredness together, time alone, so that you can feel my presence and then be my presence. That's the vision of love. That's what I hear love saying to you right now. And that's the vision of love that I'm holding for you. I'm holding the space for you to have this sacred time alone with love. Take care.